Like look at this. No cube should be allowed to do this. I'm barely putting in any effort in that turn and it just does a U2. Like that's just ridiculous. Hey guys, it's me Ram here and I have here with me essentially Yiheng Wang's main 2x2. Now you guys might be thinking, how is that possible? Yiheng lives in China, you live in New Zealand. Well, let me take you guys back to a magical time called 6 hours ago. Alright guys, just in case this video ever goes up, it is currently just a lazy Saturday morning and I just had this random idea and I'm currently in the middle of changing these. Now, I'm in the middle of changing the GES of the GAN 251M Pro into Yiheng settings and yeah, let's just see how it goes. I've finished 2 sides so far. Alright, all the nuts have been put in. As you guys can see, the magnet strength has been set and now let's give this cube some turns. First impressions. Yeah, I don't know how you use this. This is just an unstable, overly fast mess of a 2x2. Like, what is this? Come on, Yiheng. How do you use this? So yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan and I'm still not quite the biggest fan of this cube. However, in the midst of all this sliding madness that's going on, I thought a light-hearted video about, I guess, Yiheng's main 2x2 would do no harm. For anyone wondering, on the video of Yiheng's 0.78 2x2 average, there was a comment telling us about Yiheng's settings. Essentially, he uses the purple nuts on 0.8 with the weakest magnet settings. Now, if you guys don't know, this is undoubtedly the fastest settings you can get on a GAN 251M Pro, which I guess kind of makes sense, but also it doesn't. How do you use this? I guess at the moment I just have the most overpowered GAN 251M Pro in the world because essentially this was the cube that was used to set Yiheng's 0.78 2x2 average. Okay, I'll stop with the joke now. But yeah, I guess in all honesty, the whole point of this video is just to try and get used to this cube, maybe mess around with lubes and stuff, because obviously I don't know what lubes were used in Yiheng's cube, and judging by this, he probably used a heavier lube. So yeah, essentially what I'd like to do in this video is to just kind of make this cube work for me and then give a fair judgment from, I guess, Yiheng's point of view as to why he's able to use a cube with such settings and how he does. Now, since we are sure of the nuts Yiheng uses and the magnet strength being on weak, we are not allowed to change any of those things because that would just be cheating, right? Because if it were up to me, I would have definitely made the magnets to the strongest setting and also used blue nuts instead of purple to make a fast setup. However, this is not up to me. Yiheng is pretty much controlling me for this video, right? But as mentioned earlier, what we aren't sure about is the lubes Yiheng uses. Therefore, I'm gonna put in some of my heaviest lube I currently own, Traxxas 50K, on the pieces of this. Alright, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put a few blobs of Traxxas 50K in and around just the internals and the pieces of this cube. Here we are, just gonna put some back there, just some back there as well. Yeah, just wanna try and get some lube spread out evenly around this cube and hopefully make it somewhat more controllable. Okay, let's just fix this up. I've put in a bunch of Traxxas 50K in and around, I guess, the pieces of the cube, and let's give it some first turns. Oh no, it's doing that heavy loop thing. It's gonna need some more break-in, that's for sure. Basically, the heavy loop thing is, if you have a cube that's really fast and unstable and you put in a bunch of heavy loop, it just makes it like really slow and unstable, which is probably the worst combination of features you can have in a cube because it just feels like the pieces are just moving around everywhere and it just feels really like slow and I guess draggy. But personally, one of my favorite things about Traxxas 50K is that it breaks in really fast and it ends up leaving like a controllable feeling, but not that gummy and draggy annoying feeling that no one likes. And even now, as I'm doing a bunch of turns on this cube, I can feel the draggy feeling just slowly going away, which is really nice to see. Yeah, wow, I didn't expect I'd say this, but honestly, this cube is kind of growing on me. Like, this is actually pretty surprising. This is not a bad feeling cube at all. Now, obviously, I'd probably never main something like this. Like, no matter how much heavy lube you put in, honestly, this is just way too unstable for me as a 2x2. It's something I could never use in comp. But for the people, I guess, who do like that fast and sort of unstable, flexible feeling on a 2x2, like Yiheng, I guess, this would work for them. I see why Yiheng mains this now. Yeah, the cube is definitely feeling more controllable now, thanks to the Traxxas, and it has this really nice sound and feeling to it. Like, listen. And obviously, with how loose this cube is, the corner cutting is also fantastic. Okay, enough about the performance talk of this cube. Why don't we just try it out in an actual solve and see how it performs. Alright, this is a pretty okay scramble. Alright, 0.43 seconds. That actually ties the current world record single. And yeah, nothing shady really going on with that solve. It was just a pretty good solve. Okay, now let's try that again and see how it goes. Alright, looks like we have a pretty good scramble again. Alright, 1.30, that's a really solid solve actually, and the turning felt really good on that. So yeah, well, I didn't expect to be saying this at the start of the video, but this cube has quite grown on me. Obviously, it's something I would probably never use in a comp because of its flexibility and unstableness. Unstableness? It's instability. I don't know, mind my English. But yeah, it's probably something I would never use at a comp, but it's something that I really enjoy turning and probably will enjoy solving on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue breaking in this Traxxas 50k lube and get used to this cube with a bunch of solves. And in the next segment of this video, I guess I'll just give my final thoughts on this cube and, well, how Yiheng manages to use it officially, I guess. See ya. Hey guys, I've had Yiheng's quote-unquote main 2x2 for about a week now. I've done some solves on it and sorta gotten used to it, and I think I'm ready to share my final thoughts. Now first of all, this cube is fast.
Yeah, no Sherlock!
I would go as far as to say that it is way too uncontrollable for most people, including myself. Using a cube with these settings requires very controlled turning with good finger tricks, which unfortunately I don't quite have, especially in competitions. However, I guess I sort of do see the appeal behind this cube. If you have perfect turning like Yiheng, you can probably take advantage of the speed of this cube, and in return, it can probably give you back some insane TPS. Again, this is probably not the case for most people, but we are referring to Yiheng here. He's just a special breed. The Traxxas 50k did tame this cube slightly, but honestly not a lot. It sped right back up to almost its original speed, but it did get a really nice and satisfying feeling. Overall, I would probably never use this cube as a main and would probably not recommend it to most people. I think these settings are honestly too extreme even for someone who loves fast cubes. However, there's probably a reason why most of us can't turn at his TPS. Okay, even besides the sliding, we can't ignore the fact that Yiheng has some crazy turning, some of the best in the world. And in my opinion, that can at least partly be attributed to a cube like this. I understand that many faster 2x2ers do prefer slower settings on this particular cube, but I guess if you have a spare 251 Pro just laying around and a free lazy Sunday afternoon like me, this is a fun experiment to try in my opinion. So yep, that's pretty much it for this video on Yiheng Wang's GAN 251 M Pro. A lot of this video had quite a few jokes honestly, and I sincerely really hope no one got offended by any of them. Most of them were just in good spirit. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and goodbye.